the fireplace turning into gray tonight. The warmth we used to share has lost its golden light. Sitting on this velvet chair, staring at the dust, wondering how a passionate flame turned into rust. I strike a match, but the timber is far too damp. Shadows creeping slowly round the reading lamp. The winter breeze whispers through the window pane, washing away our history like an autumn rain. We blew the sparks, we tried to breathe life back, but the logs are consumed, turning into black. There is nothing left to ignite the atmosphere. The freezing midnight is already here. Oh, fading embers dying in the dark, losing every trace of that beautiful spark. We are just staring at the ashes on the floor, knowing we cannot burn like we did before. Fading embers, glowing for a second and gone, leaving us shivering before the dawn. I put my sixth string down against the wooden wall, waiting for a miracle, waiting for you to call. But the silence is louder than a thunder strike, riding down this lonely road on a broken bike. I wrap this wool blanket tightly across my chest, trying to find a momentary place of rest. But your scent still lingers on the pillowcase, a ghost I constantly try to chase. We blew the sparks, we try to breathe life back, but the logs are consumed, turning into black. There is nothing left to ignite the atmosphere. The freezing midnight is already here. Oh, fading embers dying in the dark, losing every trace of that beautiful spark. We are just staring at the ashes on the floor, knowing we cannot burn like we did before. Fading embers, glowing for a second and gone, leaving us shivering before the dawn. Consuming the forest, devouring the sea. Now we are just a memory, a tale to be told. The story of a fire that grew terribly cold. Just smoke rising up, fading out, nothing left. Ashes on the floor, knowing we cannot burn like we did before. Fading embers, glowing for a second and gone, leaving us shivering before the dawn. Let it cool, let the soot settle down. No more heat, goodbye, my fading ember. I hang a single silver ornament upon the solitary pine, drinking cheap eggnog and pretending I am doing fine. The festive neighborhood is glowing with a radiant display, while I sit in the darkness, wishing it would go away. Shoveling the heavy snowfall from the front porch steps, wiping the icy condensation where my bitter sorrow slept. Quiet voices carry across the freezing midnight breeze, singing joyful carols that bring me straight to my knees. The calendar pages flip toward the dreadful final square, leaving me absolutely breathless, gasping for some air. Every holiday commercial feels like an intentional taunt, a seasonal ghost that will continually come back to haunt. This is a cruel December, stealing every ounce of cheer, the most depressing finale to an absolutely tragic year. Wrapping up my massive heartbreak in a velvet crimson bow, watching our precious memories buried underneath the snow. Cruel December, a winter wonderland of pure despair, leaving me stranded with this holiday grief I cannot bear. The mistletoe is dangling uselessly above the doorway frame, a parasitic little plant whispering your forgotten name. I tear down the color lights draped across the patio, refusing to participate in this ridiculous happy show. Writing out greeting cards to people I barely even know, faking a cheerful signature to hide the staggering blow. The fireplace stockings hang completely empty on the wall, waiting for a Christmas miracle that will never actually fall. Calendar pages flip toward the dreadful final square, leaving me absolutely breathless, gasping for some air. Every holiday commercial feels like an intentional taunt, a seasonal ghost that will continually come back to haunt. This is a cruel December, stealing every ounce of cheer, the most depressing finale to an absolutely tragic year. Wrapping up my massive heartbreak in a velvet crimson bow, watching our precious memories buried underneath the snow. Cruel December, a winter wonderland of pure despair, leaving me stranded with this holiday grief I cannot bear. Counting down the seconds until the clock strikes 12, hoping the incoming January will help my spirit heal itself. I pop a cork of cider to bring the devastating midnight in, a solitary celebration of a miserable, lonely spin. Snow falls, bells chime, clock strikes, year end. Snow falls, I cannot bear. Pack the tree, box the lights, winter fades, silent night. Cigarettes and cheap cigars clouding up the air. I can barely see your figure sitting in that chair. The ventilation fan is broken, spinning way too slow, suffocating in this haze with nowhere else to go. My lungs are coughing up the residue of our defeat, trapped inside this parlor, sweating from the heat. The ashtray overflows with unfiltered debris, obscuring the reality of what we used to be. Breathing in the toxins, choking on the fume, navigating blindly through this hazy tomb. Our vision gets distorted by the nicotine, the most polluted atmosphere I have ever seen. Trapped inside the smoky room, gasping for a breath, dancing on the borderline of a romantic death. We lit the match together, now we inhale the smog, wandering completely lost inside a toxic fog. A smoky room, stinging both my watering eyes, hiding all the ugly truths behind a gray disguise. The wallpaper is peeling, stained a dirty brown, just like the reputation of this grimy little town. I strike a flint, but there is no oxygen to spare, just a heavy blanket of polluted, filthy air. I try to find the exit sign, but the bulb is blown. Standing in the crowded lounge, yet I feel entirely alone. Every conversation is muffled by the thick exhaust, calculating the incredibly high emotional cost. Breathing in the toxins, choking on the fume, navigating blindly through this hazy tomb. My vision gets distorted by the nicotine, the most polluted atmosphere I have ever seen. Trapped inside the smoky room, gasping for a breath, dancing on the borderline of a romantic death. We lit the match together, now we inhale the smog, wandering completely lost inside a toxic fog. A smoky room, stinging both my watering eyes, hiding all the ugly truths behind a gray disguise. Asphyxiating sin, but the latch is rusted shut, the glass is much too thick. Inhaling all these promises is making me so sick. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly, cough it up, cannot breathe. Trapped inside the smoky room, gasping for a breath, dancing on the borderline of a romantic death. We lit the match together, now we inhale the smog, wandering completely lost inside a toxic fog. The smoky room, stinging both my watering eyes, hiding all the ugly truths behind a gray disguise. Air is clearing, lungs are aching, cigarette crushed, walk outside. The thermometer plunges far below the 0 degree. A sudden blizzard sweeps right across the raging sea. I wrap my shivering arms around your rigid, stiffened spine, hoping to find a flicker of the warmth that once was mine. My exhalation transforms instantly into a frosty fog, sitting upon this frozen, snow-covered falling log. Icicles begin to form upon my eyelashes and my beard. This absolute sub-zero temperature is exactly what I feared. Hypothermia is setting into our romantic core. The thermal energy is depleted, we cannot generate more. Every attempt at affection sends a shudder down my back, walking blindly across a glacier, waiting for it to crack. Trapped in this cold embrace, freezing me to the bone, holding on to a statue carved from a glacial stone. We are shivering violently, desperately seeking the heat, but this frigid altitude guarantees our absolute defeat. A cold embrace, a winter that refuses to ever thaw, surviving the harshest elements without a single flaw. The mattress feels identical to an Arctic expedition. Enduring this blizzard is my only remaining mission. I pull the thick duvet up tightly against my chilly chin, but the drafts are penetrating deeply into my very skin. The radiator is broken, the pipes have completely burst. This polar vortex is undeniably the absolute worst. I seek refuge beside the hearth, but there is no kindling left of every single thermal comfort I have been bereft. Hypothermia is setting into our romantic core. The thermal energy is depleted, we cannot generate more. Every attempt at affection sends a shudder down my back, walking blindly across a glacier, waiting for it to crack. Trapped in this cold embrace, freezing me to the bone, holding on to a statue carved from a glacial stone. We are shivering violently, desperately seeking the heat, but this frigid altitude guarantees our absolute defeat. A cold embrace, a winter that refuses to ever thaw, surviving the harshest elements without a single flaw. Colliding in the darkest northern sea, shattering into pieces, floating aimlessly and free. No tropical summer sun could ever melt this massive chill. We are frozen completely solid on this desolate snowy hill. Shiver now, frostbite stings, numbness spreads, turning blue. desperately seeking the heat. But this frigid altitude guarantees our absolute defeat. A cold embrace, a winter that refuses to ever thaw, surviving the harshest elements without a single flaw. Snow falls, ice thickens, winter rains, frozen still. Crystal chandeliers casting prisms upon my designer gown. The wealthiest, most miserable woman in this opulent town. Mascara ruins the exquisite imported foreign silk. Crying over spilled champagne instead of crying over milk. Straightening my custom tuxedo in the polished looking glass, pretending to belong entirely to the upper elite class. A silver limousine is waiting patiently in the driveway, ready to chauffeur this pathetic hollow masquerade away. We possess an absolute fortune, swimming in pure gold. But emotionally speaking, we are terribly bankrupt and old. The paparazzi flash their lenses, capturing a fake smile, hiding the overwhelming tragedy behind an elegant profile. Weeping velvet tears, soft and incredibly plush, spilling onto pearls in the wealthy midnight hush. A luxurious depression that money simply cannot cure. Suffering in high society, feeling terribly insecure. Velvet tears staining the extremely expensive rug, addicted to the glamorous life like a destructive drug. The penthouse suite offers an immaculate panoramic view, but the marble pillars feel like a prison built for two. Caviar tastes like ashes upon my aristocratic tongue, the saddest aristocratic melody that anyone has ever sung. Diamonds wrap around my neck, an incredibly heavy chain, a glittering brilliant collar amplifying my internal pain. I wander through the sprawling estate, a captive in my home, a solitary empress reigning within a gigantic lonely dome. We possess an absolute fortune, swimming in pure gold. But emotionally speaking, we are terribly bankrupt and old. The paparazzi flash their lenses, capturing a fake smile, hiding the overwhelming tragedy behind an elegant profile. Velvet tears, soft and incredibly plush, spilling onto pearls in the wealthy midnight hush. A luxurious depression that money simply cannot cure. Suffering in high society, feeling terribly insecure. like a destructive drug. Prestigious melancholy remains entirely uncured. You cannot purchase a genuine laugh with a platinum card. Playing this incredibly wealthy role is extraordinarily hard. Drip softly, shine bright, look rich, feel poor. Weep in velvet tears, soft and incredibly plush, spilling onto pearls in the wealthy midnight hush. Luxurious depression that money simply cannot cure. Suffering in high society, feeling terribly insecure. Velvet tears staining the extremely expensive rug. Addicted to the glamorous life, like a destructive drug. Wipe your eyes, fix your hair, smile for them. Curtain falls. Tracing the jagged lines, mapping out my pale skin, a permanent reminder of the battles I could not win. Every blemish tells a story of a deeply vicious fight, carved by a ruthless needle under fluorescent light. The surgical thread pulled tight across my broken flesh, trying to weave the torn tissue into a brand new mesh. But the blade cut deeply through the muscle and the vein, leaving a textured roadmap of excruciating pain. Our wounds are overlapping in a chaotic, messy night, healing terribly poorly in the sensitive, tender spot. The lacerations bind us in a horrifying, ugly way. A physical museum displaying our profound decay. We bear these tangled scars, intricate and profoundly deep, a gallery of nightmares, preventing us from going to sleep. In a locked trauma, it's forever like a grim tattoo. I cannot separate my blemishes from the marks on you. Tangled scars, an intertwined labyrinth of old regret, a complicated woven tapestry we can never forget. I wear long sleeves in summer to conceal the wretched shame, bandages wrapping tightly around my fragile, battered frame. But the blood seeps through the cotton, staining it crimson red, exposing the brutal history I desperately want to shed. My Fingertips run blindly over the bumpy, uneven terrain, reading the raised braille of your emotional hurricane. No ointment or magical lotion can erase this brutal brand. We are permanently damaged, walking hand in hand. Our wounds are overlapping in a chaotic mess, and not healing terribly poorly in the sensitive, tender spot. Preventing us from going to sleep in a lock trauma etched forever like a grim tattoo. I cannot separate my blemishes from the marks on you. Tangled scars, an intertwined labyrinth of old regret, a complicated woven tapestry can never forget. Fused together completely at the cellular, fleshy base, inseparable damage that no doctor can ever erase. We are a monstrous creation of surgical mistake, waiting for the final fragile suture to forcefully break. Slice it, bleed out, form a scab, never heal, never heal. So how we bear these tangled scars, intricate and profoundly deep. Again, to sleep in a like trauma etched forever like a grim tattoo. I cannot separate my blemishes from the marks on you. Tangled scars, an intertwined labyrinth of old regret, a complicated woven tapestry we can never forget. Stitches pulled, tissue tear, marked for life, permanent damage. The solar eclipse casts a terrifying gloom overhead, painting the afternoon sky a terrifying bruised red. I watch your silhouette standing by the bedroom door, a dark apparition that I cannot recognize anymore. The luminance has vanished from your beautiful brown eyes, replaced by an abyss of complicated, twisted lies. I carry a brass lantern, but the kerosene has run dry, wandering blindly beneath this darkened twilight sky. My chest cavity feels like a damp subterranean cave, trapped inside this emotional, suffocating grave. The sun retreated behind a massive blocking moon, turning our joyful morning into a dreadful afternoon. The lack of illumination breeds terrible lurking ghosts. We are serving as unwilling, miserable, haunted hosts. The twilight creeps inward, consuming the vibrant day, chasing every single ounce of brilliant light away. Living with a shadowed heart, completely deprived of sun, a terrifying darkness that simply cannot be outrun. A total eclipse blocking out the affection we need, planting a nocturnal, poisonous, miserable seed. Shadowed heart, beating slowly in the pitch black night, surrendering completely without putting up a fight. The umber spreads quickly across the living room wall, waiting for the inevitable, terrifying curtain to fall. I reach out to grab your hand, but grasp only the air, stumbling around in this pitch black atmosphere. I try to strike a flint, but the sparks refuse to catch. We are completely incompatible, a terrible mismatch. The shadows grow taller, morphing into terrifying shapes, blocking out all the viable, accessible escapes. The lack of illumination breeds terrible, lurking ghosts. We are serving as unwilling, miserable, haunted hosts. The twilight creeps inward, consuming the vibrant day, chasing every single ounce of brilliant light away. Living with a shadowed heart, completely deprived of sun, a terrifying darkness that simply cannot be outrun. A total eclipse blocking out the affection we need, planting a nocturnal, poisonous, miserable seed. Shadowed heart, beating slowly in the pitch black night, surrendering completely without putting up a fight. Photosynthesis requires a genuine, radiant beam, but we are living entirely inside a nocturnal dream. The darkness is absolute, a thick impenetrable cloak, choking out the fire until there is only smoke. Lights out, total dark, cannot see, blind love. Living with the shadowed heart, completely deprived of sun, a terrifying darkness that simply cannot be outrun. A total eclipse blocking out the affection we need, planting a nocturnal, poisonous, miserable seed. Shadowed heart, beating slowly in the pitch black night, surrendering completely without putting up a fight. Welcome night, embrace the dark, no more dawn, shadows win. Cigarettes and cheap cigars clouding up the air. I can barely see your figure sitting in that chair. The ventilation fan is broken, spinning way too slow, suffocating in this haze with nowhere else to go. My lungs are coughing up the residue of our defeat, trapped inside this parlor, sweating from the heat. The ashtray overflows with unfiltered debris, obscuring the reality of what we used to be. Breathing in the toxins, choking on the fume, navigating blindly through this hazy tomb. Our vision gets distorted by the nicotine, the most polluted atmosphere I have ever seen. Trapped inside this smoky room, gasping for a breath, dancing on the borderline of a romantic death. We lit the match together, now we inhale the smog, wandering completely lost inside a toxic fog. A smoky room, stinging both my watering eyes, hiding all the ugly truths behind a gray disguise. The wallpaper is peeling, stained a dirty brown, just like the reputation of this grimy little town. I strike a flint, but there is no oxygen to spare, just a heavy blanket of polluted, filthy air. I try to find the exit sign, but the bulb is blown, standing in the crowded lounge. Yet I feel entirely alone. Every conversation is muffled by the thick exhaust, calculating the incredibly high emotional cost. Breathing in the toxins, choking on the fume, navigating blindly through this hazy tomb. Our vision gets distorted by the nicotine, the most polluted atmosphere I have ever seen. Oh, trapped inside this smoky room, gasping for a breath, dancing on the borderline of a romantic death. We lit the match together, now we inhale the smog, wandering completely lost inside a toxic fog. A smoky room, stinging both my watering eyes, hiding all the ugly truths behind a gray disguise. Crack the window open, let the hurricane rush in, blow away the evidence of our asphyxiating sin. But the latch is rusted shut, the glass is much too thick. Inhaling all these promises is making me so sick. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly, cough it up, cannot breathe. Hey, yeah. Trapped inside this smoky room, I'm gasping for breath, dancing on the borderline of a romantic death. We lit the match together, now we can hail the smoke, wandering completely lost inside a toxic fog. A smoky room, stinging both my watering eyes, hiding all the ugly truths behind a gray disguise. Air is clearing, lungs are aching, cigarette crushed, walk outside. sunshine flickering outside, watching amber liquid pour as I swallow my pride. The bartender wipes the counter with a dirty rag, carrying this heavy sorrow in a leather bag. Ice cubes melting slowly in this cylindrical glass, watching blurry strangers and midnight taxis pass. My tab is running high, but my spirit sinks so low. I drank the poison willingly, yet I cannot let you go. Intoxicated vision spinning wildly in my brain, drowning every single thought to tolerate the pain. The bartender yells that it is finally closing time, but I am busy punishing myself for this romantic crime. These are whiskey regrets burning down my throat, sinking like a stone inside a leaking boat. A massive morning headache that will never fade, paying the expensive price for choices that we made. Whiskey regrets stinging on my swollen tongue, a toxic melody that should have never been sung. Empty bottles lined up like soldiers on the shelf. I am picking fights with the demons inside myself, stumbling through the alleyway, tripping on the curb, looking for a magic cure or some medicinal herb. The taxi driver asked me for an avenue or street, but I just stare blankly at the pedals on his feet. My destination vanished when you walked out the door. Now I am just a patron sleeping on the tavern floor. Intoxicated vision spinning wildly in my brain, drowning every single thought to tolerate the pain. The bartender yells that it is finally closing time, but I am busy punishing myself for this romantic crime. These are whiskey regrets burning down my throat, sinking like a stone inside a leaking boat. A massive morning headache that will never fade, paying the expensive price for choices that we made. Whiskey regrets stinging on my swollen tongue, a toxic melody that should have never been sung. They say the liquor helps to sterilize the wound, but it only guarantees my sanity is ruined. The proof is in the bottle, the evidence is clear. I am fermenting all my sadness into liquid fear. Pour it, swallow hard, feel the burn, dizzy mind. Oh, these are whiskey regrets burning down my throat, burning down my throat, sinking like a stone inside a leaking boat. A massive morning headache that will never fade, paying the expensive price for choices that we made. Whiskey regrets stinging on my swollen tongue, a toxic melody that should have never been sung. The glass is empty, the bill is paid, staggering home, sober enough. staring at the digital map glowing bright upon my screen, calculating the mass of geography sitting right between different time zones, making our communication completely out of sync, pushing my sanity rapidly toward the treacherous brink. Driving past the state line, reading the faded welcome board, living entirely out of a suitcase in an old beaten up Ford. The AM radio crackles with a terrible buzzing static hiss, trying to ignore the comforting hometown that I intensely miss. The cell tower signal drops as I drive through the mountain pass, looking at the blurry horizon through a bug-splattered glass. Thousands of miles separated, now weary traveling souls taking unexplainable tolls on our ultimate romantic goals, singing the distant blues, separated by the interstate, wondering if the separation is an act of cruel fate, a geographic nightmare tearing us completely apart, an agonizing marathon running directly through my heart. Distant blues spanning oceans, rivers, and the endless plains, riding on different airplanes, catching separate passing trains, eating greasy pancakes in a lonely roadside diner booth, pouring terrible black coffee while searching for the truth. The waitress calls me honey, but it does not sound the same. Nobody in this entire time zone even knows my middle name. Postage stamps and handwritten letters piled upon the desk, trying to keep our connection from turning grotesque. I trace your familiar handwriting with my index finger, allowing the romantic sentiment to temporarily linger. The cell tower signal drops as I drive through the mountain pass, looking at the blurry horizon through a bug-splattered glass. Thousands of miles separated, now weary traveling souls taking unexplainable tolls on our ultimate romantic goals, singing the distant blues, separated by the interstate, wondering if this separation is an act of cruel fate, a geographic nightmare tearing us completely apart, an agonizing marathon running directly through my heart. Distant blues spanning oceans, rivers, and the endless plains, riding on different airplanes, catching separate passing trains. Satellites floating in orbit, beaming down a delayed text, constantly wondering exactly what is gonna happen next. We are just two tiny dots on a massive spinning globe, waiting patiently for a miracle, maintaining endless hope. Keep driving, keep flying, far away, never close. Whoa, singing the distant blues, separated by the interstate, wondering if the separation is an act of cruel fate, a geographic nightmare tearing us completely apart, remains. Engine stops, call connects, delay remains, miles apart. The tuning pegs are slipping, the pitch is always flat. I strum the wooden body where the vibrant rhythm's set, but the resonance has vanished. The sound box is deceased. The musical connection is permanently ceased.
My calluses are peeling, my fingertips just bleed, planting barren melodies from a corrupted seed.
The bridge is slowly cracking under immense tension, losing every single ounce of my creative comprehension.
Plucking at the wires, but
They yield no pleasant tone,
just a dull
vibration vibrating through the bone.
The fretboard is deserted,
The neck is warped and bent. Every single ounce of inspiration has been spent, playing on these hollow strings, echoing with dread, trying to revive a song that is already dead. No amplifier powerful enough to bring the magic back, riding off the rails upon a broken, rusted track. Hollow strings snapping tightly against the wood, failing to deliver what we always understood.
the nylon fibers fray,
The steel begins to rust,
the instrument case gathers
a century of dust.
I sweep the plectrum downwards,
Hoping for a chord, but I only get the silence of a solitary ward.
the capo clamps down forcefully,
But changes no key, restricting the expression of the artist inside me. The harmonics are muted, deadened by the grief, searching through the songbook for a moment of relief.
plucking at the wires,
But they yield no pleasant tone,
just a dull
vibration vibrating through the bone. The fretboard is deserted, the neck is warped and bent. Every single ounce of inspiration has been spent, playing on these hollow strings, echoing with dread, trying to revive a song that is already dead. No amplifier powerful enough to bring the magic back, riding off the rails upon a broken, rusted track. Hollow strings snapping tightly against the wood, failing to deliver what we always understood. The symphony requires a master to conduct, but our orchestral arrangement decided to self-destruct. You cannot play a masterpiece on a broken violin. You cannot win a battle where you never should begin. Strum the wire, hear the snap, total silence, music stops. Playing on these hollow strings, echoing with dread, trying to revive a song that is already dead. No amplifier powerful enough to bring the magic back, riding off the rails upon a broken, rusted track. Hollow strings snapping tightly against the wood, failing to deliver what we always understood. Put it down, close the case, lock the latch, no